Napolitano is not happy with that response, and he's going to tell us why.
Well, I'm not. Good morning, Stuart. I'm not happy because it lacks credibility. I mean, if Mrs. Clinton was using an email address, clintonemail.com, on her emails to the president, it is inconceivable that he didn't notice that. Yep. If she was somehow routing these emails through another server that gave the false impression that it had a government email address, something that the president wouldn't take note of because he would think it was coming directly from the State Department email, then she was committing another crime by engaging in interstate communications using a fraudulent address. But what the real issue is, and Bill Plant's a wonderful guy with great years of experience, as his son Mike is a producer here, as you may know. Yep. Here's what he should have said. Are you concerned that Mrs. Clinton possessed classified materials on her server and in her email, and we don't know where the server was, we don't know who managed the server, and we don't know who else had access to it? And if you are concerned about that, Mr. President, will you prosecute her? Because your Justice Department just prosecuted General Petraeus for doing the same thing with hard documents as opposed to digital ones.
That's good.
And I don't know how the president could have answered those questions. Right. But they should have been put to him.
Is this just technical legalisms? Is it? Because,
no, I don't
I think the public's got scandal fatigue, investigation fatigue.
The public may have scandal fatigue in general, and it may have, oh, there they go again, scandal fatigue with the Clintons, because this is their mantra, scandal, and they get out of it.
Let me put it like this. You and I could cross the road on 6th Avenue today, and we'd break the law somehow or other, wouldn't we? You could get me on something if you really wanted to. And I think the public has the impression that these investigations are there's always an investigation, always a technicality. Is it that? Is it a technicality?
I don't think it's a technicality when you're talking about the chief diplomatic officer of the United States of America in possession with the highest security clearance the government offers, and as a result of that deals with the country's greatest secrets, using a false and phony and fraudulent email address. Don't you think foreign diplomats and foreign intelligence services would pick up on that? And isn't she obliged under the law to protect the national security secrets? How did she protect them? Was this server in their barn, on their estate in Chappaqua, New York? Was it somewhere in Texas in a company? This is one of the allegations, I'm not just making this up. In a company that managed many servers, did that company have the level of security that the Secret Service provides Mrs. Clinton? These are bona fide questions that the government should be asking. But you hear anybody from the government asking these questions?
Not the government, but Trey Gowdy has subpoenaed these emails, and he's going to call her to testify, and she will testify under oath. She's going to stand there and do this.
He has an impossible task before him, because his ability to question her is only as good as her responses to his subpoenas. He is not a prosecutor. He's in the Congress. He can't send the FBI to raid her computer and raid her offices. He only has what she's surrendered.
But then I hate to say, he's got her politically, but she looks politically bad if she cannot answer his questions and stonewalls with, I'm sorry, I don't recall.
But she should be in criminal jeopardy. She will look terribly politically if she condescends to be examined.
Examined?
To be questioned.
But she's going to be. She's going to be called to testify. You can't ignore that, can you?
Well, look at what she's ignored. She has not surrendered a single email involving Benghazi. Who says she's going to surrender herself to answer their questions? But while she's running for president.
You can't become the president of the United States if you refuse to answer questions from a congressional committee. You can't.
But you can see where the Democrats will take this politically, because they will portray her as a victim.
Right.
Look, the GOP is going after her just like they went after her on Benghazi.
And they love to beat up women.
Lady, and they love to beat up women, exactly.
All right.
Interesting times ahead, sir. Looking forward to covering all this with you.
I guess so, Judge. I guess so. Thank you very much indeed, sir.